I was in silent because, in fact, that touched me and touched me in many different ways in how vulnerability is really getting connected to the power of creation, the power of acceptation, and how you accepting yourself in the way that you can do different things.
A feeling causes, due to the brainstem, physical reaction in our body. It makes us react. And we have such a beautiful body. It follows our emotions, it follows our feelings, it follows the value that we give to everything. If it does just only one moment and we feel this tension of frustration due to the traffic and I'm running late and I need to perform in a training or I need to catch up my kids at time, if we go there and the situation is finished and we can take time to release that tension in our body, it is okay. And it's not only the situations that we give value, we also have our convictions about, am I good enough? I should do better. I should be faster. We always should do so much. And it's the conviction or the thought that gives those feelings. And it goes up and the body says, oh, you want to go harder? We can go harder.
She is Bernadette Laermans, founder of the Corporate Pilgrim, a powerful brand helping women reconnect with themselves through embodiment and emotional regulation. In this episode, Bernadette opened up about the moment her body said enough and how the wake-up call led her to transform not just her own life, but the way she supports others. Together we talk about how to stop living on autopilot and start feeling again, what guilt and stress really do to the body, and how to release them, and how 1 minute of stillness can shift your entire day. This is more than a conversation. It is a reminder to come back home to yourself. So please grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and enjoy this episode. Welcome to the Brilliantly Branded podcast. So welcome again to the Brilliantly Branded podcast. Today we have a very special guest. She is Bernadette Laermans. She is the founder of the Corporate Pilgrim. I met Bernadette in Antwerp in a workshop event in which she makes the difference in her presentation. And that's why I want her to join us today in this episode. She is so passionate for well-being, for embodiment, and conscious living. And actually, this is the reasons why I realize how she bridged the gap between science and wisdom, helping people reconnect with their bodies, minds, and hearts. That is one of the most impactful things, especially in nowadays, in the lives that we are living. She's using multiple techniques, and of course, we are going to talk about that on details during this episode, have a conversation about that, and how modern women can regain their balance in their lives, getting more presence in becoming stronger, and doing all this embodiment and developing all these emotional regulations that Bernadette is going to give us all the details. So welcome, Bernadette. And could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, well, thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to be here. So thank you, Maria, and thank you for everybody who wants to listen to this story. And I really would like to advise you, just try it out. Maybe while you are listening, try it out what we are talking about, or later on at a moment that you are at a safe space and a quiet space. So yes, I'm Bernadette, and I always start by telling I'm a mother from a daughter who is now 12 years old, which is a very interesting age, and which is an age that's sometimes for me is a very good mirror. I live in Kumtich in Belgium, and yes, I've been studying for the last 10 years, I guess, about ancient wisdom. And I preferred to have a study which is based on scientifically science. And why? Because I was, and I still am, a very rational thinking person. And every time when you give me some examples, try this, try to feel, my question was, how do you do that? And why do I have to do this? And what is the impact? And how does it work on my nervous system? So this is what I like to bring to people today. After 20 years of experience in labor market, working together with groups of people, leaders, labor workers, executives. And I try now the last few years not to stay in the cognitive rational world, but in explaining the ancient wisdom, which is so valuable in daily life. But I try to guide people by bringing the wisdom into practical exercises. And I'm really experienced person. I come from a far way. So, and it worked. It changed a lot in my life. And this is what I would like to share.
Thank you, Bernadette, because as you will explain to us, probably one of the things that are having us or holding us back is a little bit this lack of connection. So we start to losing this connection, and for me, it's important to start understanding why we become disconnected. So your work is helping people to reconnect and working on that with themselves, but what there is a moment in your own life that made you realize how disconnected we have become?
Yes, absolutely. Well, it started when I became a mother. When my daughter was 1 year old, I've always lived a life, and I still am a person who loves very high energy, who loves optimism, living by passion and a heart filled with a lot of high tension energy. So I used to train in daily life in companies, but I also trained people after my working hours in sports training, combat training, high energy group classes. So my life was always filled with a lot of, well, I would say it now, a lot of pressure. And when my daughter was 1 year old, I felt sick. It started with pain in my throat. And after a few weeks, I was like, this, go on, keep on going. You're a mom, you have a partner, you have a household, you're a leader. So you have a team you're responsible for. Keep on going. It's all in the mindset. But at some point, my body said no. And I got such a severe pain in my throat, a severe infection, that I even had to go to the hospital for a few days.
Oh,
And then
wow.
someone told me, you should do yoga. And I was like, that's a good idea. So I thought, let's start with a teacher training. Do it. If you do something, do it right. Don't start with following yoga classes. Go for a teacher training so you know everything about it and maybe you can share it with other people. So don't laugh with me. I started with yoga, but with power yoga.
Oh,
It was
wow.
yoga.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Slow down. It's very, very difficult, even for us. Your body's telling you you need to stop, and you say yes, but let's do power yoga. Love it.
it was yoga. And it didn't help exactly, but it was actually, when I look back now, it was the beginning of a change in my life, a
Mm.
change with going deeper into the body. But 1 year later, one of my team members, and I was in a project, in a team meet, and one of my team members suddenly told me, and I was doing like with high intention and enthusiasm because I had to motivate everybody. And she said, hey, Bernadette, sometimes you can be such a bulldozer. And I was like, whoa. And the first thing, I'm going to be very honest, the first thing I thought was, who the hell do you think you are by telling me that I'm a bulldozer? I'm at least optimistic and
Yeah.
positive and enthusiastic. But my mind was telling me, you should be angry now. You should blame that person. You don't do that. But my body reacted. I started to cry with tears. And I wanted to stop it, but it didn't work. And I even didn't understand what was happening there.
Mhm.
And when I look back at that moment, I realized, and this is one of my biggest lessons in my life, everything and everyone is your teacher. You only need to be open for it, because we always point to someone else and we always blame someone else. And a very ancient sentence is, when you point with your finger to someone else, three fingers are pointing back to you.
Yeah.
And that moment, I thought, I'm triggered. So it means something for me. So I started to ask for some advice to people around me with professionals. And people always told me the same advice. You should go more inwards. You should feel more. And then I was like, how do you do that? I don't know what you mean. And then someone told me, just connect with yourself and feel. And I was like, that sounds like a very expensive sentence, but I still don't understand what you mean with that.
Bernadette.
How do you do that? So I started to study again yoga therapy, international study with a lot of science, with a lot of tools, and my world opened. And I learned to be able to keep on having my energy, my enthusiasm, but to dose my energy and to choose. And I learned to go really inwards in my body, and I learned to experience, and maybe the most important part, to accept that we all have emotions. Accept that not only the mind, but the body tells so much more than the mind can understand. So this was my point of turn. Yes.
Oh wow, I was in silent because in fact that touched me and touched me in many different ways in how vulnerability is really getting connected to the power of creation, the power of acceptation, and how you accepting yourself in the way that you can do different things. And when things are coming from other people that are pointing you as well, in certain way, you can stop and see what they are saying that. And
Exactly.
just, you listen, you pay attention, and you make adjustments in order to grow yourself and become this person that you see to the mirror and you're feeling happy to see it, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So I have a question there, Bernadette, and it's related more about how we as women
Yeah.
are always putting a lot of pressure on that
Yeah.
in the way that we are perceived, in how the people are thinking about us, and how we become possibly maybe disconnected completely
Yes.
from life because we are receiving that and taking that personal. Like, this person is telling me that because this or that, but never realizing how could I really adjust these things. So, how do you think, based on your experience, that we can, in certain way, start to shift in that situation?
Well, absolutely. It's about being kind enough to ourselves. We can be very hard to ourselves because we want to be the best version of ourselves. Like we always want to believe when you see so many beautiful quotes, be the best version of ourselves means that we try to be a good employer, a good leader. We want to have a good household where everything is managed well. We want to take care of our kids or the kids around us in the family. If we don't have our own kids, we want to be a good friend, a good daughter, a good partner. And we try to hold up everything at the same time. And we take a lot of responsibilities, and that is okay. It's okay. But there is a but. It is important to understand when you go hard in your life that you also need to go hard in relaxation. It's okay. And
I love
what
that.
I
It's like I put it in a balance, is well,
exactly,
I think we don't think about that. I mean, we are thinking in delivering, 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 show up, delivering to everyone,
absolutely,
to
yeah,
everything. But put it the balance sometimes is quite
yeah.
difficult, isn't it?
It needs time to reflect, and I like it. You're using also the balance because I always say a balance that is perfectly standing still. It's a balance that's not used. So it is okay. Energy is dynamic and it's okay. You have good days, you have very good days, you have days with lower energy. And the first step that helped me to make well informed, conscious choices without any sense of guilt, because this is something we're very good at. Because when I gave all my energy and attention to my work, I felt guilty at home. When I give my attention to my daughter, my partner, I felt guilty to the rest of the world. I was very good in feeling guilty. And by understanding how this body mind connection works, it opens so much more because it is like it is. And for example, just to make a long story very short, um, I learned to understand that if something happens in my life, it's my mind that gives that situation a value. For example, when I'm running late and I'm going the car and I have traffic due to an accident, there are several values I can give. I can say, oh, no, I'm going to be too late. It could, because the value that I give to this situation, that creates a feeling. And that feeling, and now I'm going to push all the romance about emotions and feelings from the table. A feeling causes, due to the brainstem, a physical reaction in our body. It makes us react. And we have such a beautiful body. It follows our emotions, it follows our feelings, it follows the value that we give to everything. And if it does, if it's just only one moment and we feel this tension of frustration due to the traffic and I'm running late and I need to perform in a training, or I need to catch up my kids at time, if we go there and the situation is finished and we can take time to release that tension in our body, it is okay. But in our daily life, we all live in 2025. It's not only one situation, but it fills up one after the other. And it's not only the situations that we give value, we also have our convictions about, am I good enough? I should do better. I should be faster. We always should do so much. And it's the conviction or the thought that gives those feelings. And it goes up and it goes up, and we still have that wonderful body that follows us,
Yeah.
because the body says, oh, you want to go harder, we can go harder. So the body increases the breath, it increases the heart rate, it increases the tension of your muscles, it decreases your metabolism, your immune system. And the best part, save the best for last, at some point the body is the boss, and the body says, dear Bernadette, you're going so hard. We need more oxygen and glucose. So
Yeah.
we are going to pull the blood from your human brain, your prefrontal cortex. And in a few seconds, up to 80%, less blood goes to the brain that we always need to go for to-do lists, to analyze, to plan, to make to use the right words, to have the right conversations. And the best thing, it's the same brain that we also need to let go, to relevate, to find solutions, and to meditate. Because when you're in a rush and you try to meditate and you're not trained, it's not going to work.
Yeah, you are completely right. And what you are sharing with us here is the entire things that can happen in seconds where you don't realize what is really happening. Because
Exactly.
sometimes, you was mentioned guilt and shame. That is one of the things that we are using all the time, in the sense of, well, yeah, if I am good at work, I am not good at home, and all these kind of things. But as well, the fact that you cannot control certain things that happen to you. So if you go out in the traffic, yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. I mean, you cannot control that. So how really make that happen in a different way, as you have been explaining? And it comes to me the word of embodiment. That is
Yeah.
basically what you are working on and what you are doing. So I will love you to give us a little bit more like a concise description about what embodiment is and how we can start to practice that in our daily lives.
Yeah, wonderful. And it is something you can integrate it in your daily life. For me, I'm not a scientist, but for me, embodiment means that what is going on in my mind, I allow myself to feel that also physically in my body. And when I feel those little physical sensations in my body, it helps me to choose. So you can train that. You can use this in a traffic and you get frustrated. So you feel, I'm frustrated. And yeah, I feel that, for example, in my stomach. It's something that shrimps in my stomach, and it's due to the connective tissue around it. And our connective tissue, our fascia, gets tensed when we experience emotions like what we call, and I don't like the word, but we call them negative emotions. For a mind and body, it's just an emotion or a feeling that creates a physical action. And if I don't do anything, the tension will stay there. So embodiment means I'm aware of what is going on inside and I go over into action, like self-regulation techniques, to release this out of my body. But one thing is also very important. It is also about embodying the good moments. For example, when you have a really nice conversation with someone and you put your feet on the ground, and while you are talking, you go also between your shoulders and your hips, and you sense that your muscles are relaxed and that inside your body there is a sense of peace. It means that you're also embodied. And I try, for example, how do I train myself in this? It's easier to start with the good sensations, and then moving over to the difficult or more uncomfortable sensations. And how do I train myself? This is, for example, always putting my feet consciously on the ground. So if you're not driving in a car now, you can do this now, putting your left and your right foot completely connected with your ground beneath you, and just go with the mind. I feel left, I feel right. And when you push your big and your little toe a little bit more in your foot, so in your shoe or on the ground, it makes your mind a little bit consciousness. And I'm going to be very honest. The first thing I ever asked to my mentor was, okay, I'm putting my feet on the ground. Is this going to solve my problem?
It's a very challenging question, but I will ask mostly the same in order. Okay, when you say grounded yourself, you are going to tell me that I can do that when I'm in my car or in my apartment that is in a building in the floor of my apartment. You mean that is easy?
Exactly. The best part to ground is nature, the real ground beneath
Exactly.
you. But for the rational people like
Yeah.
me, I learned to do this in my bedroom and maybe also when I had a conversation with someone. As a woman, we often cross our legs.
Yes.
And what do you do when you cross your legs? You put tension on the psoas muscle, which is a muscle that connects your legs with your upper body. But the psoas muscle is also connected in your back with your diaphragm, your primary breathing muscle.
Oh,
So
wow.
when you cross your legs, you create already tension in your body. And as we already talked about it, the brain gives motorical instructions to the body, but the body gives sensoric instructions to the brain. So when the body feels tensed, it says, I'm tensed. So we need more blood supply into the body. So
Yeah.
we can use our body to just open up, like rolling up the shoulders up and back. Open up your upper body so the breathing muscles get more space. Putting your feet on the ground so you're not crossing the legs, and you create an open but a very stable fundament in your body. And a body that feels stable gives a sign to the brain, hey, I'm safe,
We are
I'm
safe.
stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you can train this. Another thing that I try to train, that's a really nice one, I think. And it helps me to create more awareness about enjoying life, is when I'm sitting on my table with my husband and my daughter, and we have a nice moment together, we can say very cognitively, oh, this is nice. We should do this more often.
Mhm.
What I try to do more, this is mindful, but I try to do more is embodiment goes one step further. And it is, oh, this is nice. Just put your feet on the ground, open up your body posture, breathe in and out, and go through to the place between your shoulders and your hips and feel what does my body says in the way of, do I feel any tension in my muscles? Do I feel something in my heart rate? How does my breath goes? It's just observing how your body reacts on that moment. And this is really living very consciously. It helps you by using just 10 seconds every moment just to not only see, not only hear, but also feel what is happening there. People who are going on holiday, we take a lot of time to take pictures. But what
Yeah.
about taking a picture with your body, watching the sunset, and going inside, observing how your body reacts on it? This is really bringing every memory into every vein and every cell of your body.
Yeah, well, listening to you, and I know that many of our listeners, our audiences, probably are thinking, "Well, sounds fantastic, but I have a lot of things in my brain, and I need to do this, and I need to deliver that, I need to go there." So, how you will advise all those people that wanted to start to make this change? Because when you have that such a long time doing what you are doing, I have been working on myself as well for a long time. So I know more or less what is this is about. But what about all those people that have so many things in their minds, bodies, and happening around them to start doing the embodiment process and enjoy the moment? What you will say to them?
Yeah. Well, maybe it could help to allow yourself to start to invest. Well, it helped for me, by the way, and I see my practical life. Lots of people start very small with allowing yourself 1 minute a day. It's 60 seconds. And if you say, I'm not going to remind myself on that, plan it in, put it on your agenda, use a clock on your smartphone, or, which is one that could help, use your password and change it. 1 minute, dot 11, and a lot of other IT wise numbers behind it, you know. But
I
you
love that. I love that. That's a very good advice.
use,
Okay.
yeah. So use it as a reminder, and every time you take your password, you say, "Oh, feet on the ground." It just starts with simple things, and if you have this 1 minute, what could you do? And I like to use the word stop. 4 steps by using the word stop. Stop means the S from stand still. Put your feet on the ground. Take a moment to go outside of your head, inside your body. What could you do? For example, rub your hands, make them warm.
I will
Yeah,
do
we
that.
can try this. Let's do this together. If you don't like rubbing your hands, it's absolutely fine. Take a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and make your hands warm. And then bring your hands somewhere in your body that you like it. For example, the neck, or in the place where your physical heart is, or on the place where you find your diaphragm, it's the lower ribs. And give your body just a time to make sure that the warmth gets into your skin. This is one step, one thing you can do. A second part to stand still is walk slowly. When you go for a cup of tea, walk slowly. When you're in a meeting, talk slowly. Give a moment of just a few seconds of silence. People love that. I never realized that. I always thought, let's fill it up. Just a
Yeah.
moment of silence. Look outside of the window, because when we are under stress, we get tension in the eye muscle, and because we need to focus on danger. That's what the body thinks. That's a survival system. So when you try to look and you seek to look for the horizon, and even when you're in the middle of buildings, try to find the skyline and open up your eyes. These are very little things, but the thing is to remind yourself just to come back into your body. And which is a really nice one for women who try to eat more conscious. Before you start to eat, breathe in 3 times, in and out, because a relaxed nervous system creates a better metabolism in your body. So, and we don't always have to be calm or zen. A healthy nervous system can shift. So it is okay if you feel arousal in your mind, but it's those little moments to stop. And when you stop, take a moment, that's step 2, to breathe in and breathe out. You don't need to follow difficult breathing exercises. That's when you're trained. That's a step for later, but it's about just breathing in and out through the nose. And if you think it's difficult, it could be helpful to put your finger like a thinking pose when you're thinking, and you put your finger
To feel
above
the,
your lip. Yeah.
yeah.
Just try to focus on the air that you feel on your finger. It's a
Mhm.
little kind of breathing exercise. And
This is
then
very
step,
interesting.
yes. So stop, stand still, find
Yeah.
stillness. Just a few seconds is already enough for the mind.
Mhm.
Take a moment to breathe and then try to observe inside. I'm going to be honest, it took me months to try to understand What can I observe? Because I thought, oh, I will feel magical explosions inside. Well, it's not like that.
Yeah, I
It's,
can imagine. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
little baby steps that is going to bring you
exactly.
to the moment of realization of, okay, I did it the first time. The most difficult step is the first step. Then
Yes.
you will go, isn't the things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And Bernadette, I'm really so grateful for all these things that you have been sharing with us, because it's so important to really stop, as you will explain to us. And I know that this is your daily life, you are working on that, you are putting yourself to the service of others. So just to start to wrap up, can you let us know what are you doing, where the people can contact in you? Because I think you have a lot of value to deliver, and I will love people connect with you, and using your superpowers to get it in the embodiment and the connection with the mind, heart, and soul.
Yes, oh, that's so nice. You're telling that, and I really want to advise people, if you feel stuck with it and you feel even more triggered while trying this, it is absolutely fine to seek for professional help. Absolutely, I did the same, because it helps you sometimes just to understand your own body, because the way your body moves is a metaphor of what's going inside. So yes, people can contact me. I work remote. I work live in group sessions, in keynotes, in workshops, but I also work one-on-one in somatic guidance for people who really want to dive deep inside of themselves, by using your body. And with somatic guidance, it's based on the science and the medically proved exercises of yoga therapy. And what we do most of the time is really checking out all is well, all may be there. We are not going to judge. We are going to see what is a possibility that your body and your mind and also your heart will give you at that moment. And we work from there. Yeah, absolutely. So I
I
have
love
this
it.
website. People can find my
For
context
sure.
via LinkedIn, or by going to search my website, the Corporate
Yeah, for
Pilgrim.
sure. I will
Yeah,
put all the information. And just the last question, because I just wanted people to know, because I leave that in the workshop that you gave. And you was talking about meditation and how
yeah.
people are thinking, oh, well, meditation is having this time to don't think in anything. But then you give us an example, and I will love you to give that example now, because that really
Yeah.
stays on me. So if you can share that for us to wrap up this episode, that will be lovely.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So it's an alternative for meditation, because meditation is wonderful. It helps me to still the mind, and moving with yoga poses helps me to empower my body. But when I have lack of time and when I need to leave my house very early, I always take those 3 minutes, and I call it the 3 times 3 exercise. So what we will do, we will practice it together, but just to ensure that you know what we will do, we will prepare the body. We will ground 3 times. We will breathe 3 times. And we will think about what makes you grateful today. 3 things. And if it's just one, it's absolutely fine. And then we will end with your intention. How do you want to move on for the rest of your day? It's like an anchor point for the rest of your day. So I'm ready. You too?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I'm
Okay.
ready. Fantastic.
The best self regulation exercise is shaking. Shaking the body very softly, not hard, but shaking it off means that you relax your joints, you relax everything that is filled with connective tissue, you relax your muscles, and you can go up and down with your shoulders, and you can have a laugh with it. It doesn't have to be that serious all the time. And when your face is laughing, your breathing muscles are relaxing. So shaking it off. And if you're seated, you can work with your upper body, you can do it with your legs. Don't go too hard if the body says no. It's absolutely fine. But by shaking it off, bending your knees up and down, and if you don't have a herniated disc, you can even bounce with your heels on the ground. So you create little shocks, shaking, shaking, shaking. You can do this for as long as you want to have it. And everything gets more valuable if you give it an intention. So when you say, I shake it off, you breathe one more in. Take a moment to breathe out and let everything occur right inside of your body. So just take a moment to observe What do I feel? Maybe some tingling, maybe some warmth, maybe nothing yet. And that's absolutely fine too. Try it again tomorrow. And then we go to the exercise, putting your both feet on the ground. And I would like to invite you to shift your body weight from one side to the other. You can bend your knees and you can push your feet very consciously in the ground. And if you're seated, you can do the same with your hips. Absolutely fine too. One more time. So observe that you're making contact with the environment where you are now. And then center back your body weight on your both feet. Take 3 breaths. And I like to move my arms with me, but if the shoulders don't allow it, it's okay. You inhale, bring the arms up. You exhale and you push the energy back to your feet. 2 more times. You inhale through the nose and exhale. And you do it at your own pace and just giving an example. And when you feel distracted by thoughts, it's okay. Go back with your mind to your feet. Go back with your mind to your movements or to your breath. You can even observe what the impact of your energy is while you're pushing the exhale down to your feet. And then take a moment to open up your body posture, maybe closing your eyes or soften your gaze to the ground, to the skyline. And imagine yourself 3 things or just one thing that could give you a sense of gratitude. Maybe the sun, a wonderful chat, maybe you had a wonderful lunch. All is well. And go for the little things. And while you are doing this, go between your shoulders and your hips. And just observe for a moment, how do my muscles react on that? Do I feel anything inside of my heart or the environment around my stomach, my intestines? Do I feel something in my breath? And don't seek for anything, don't judge, just stare. And then it's always nice to bring your hands on your heart. Bow your head to your own heart and just allow yourself to mention, how do you want to feel today? How do you want your body to behave today? And it's always nice to start with, I am, and you give your own words, like, I am powerful, at peace, filled with loving kindness. I'm good enough. You choose the word that resonates with your body.
That's beautiful, Bernadette. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. It's when you were asking what are you feeling, I was just thinking and feeling peaceful, feeling the connection, feeling on my place, and very happy for all the things that are happening in my life right now. So thank you for reminding me what is to feeling grateful for all the things that are happening. And I really, really, really hope to continue this connection with you, because I love the way that how you deliver the content, how you represent, and talking about branding, how you represent your own personal brand in the way that you are. You know, this say everything about who you are, and I have to say thank you, because this is a real representation of authenticity and really communicating who we are as an individual. So thank you very much, Bernadette, for being here in the Brilliantly Branded podcast.
Thank you so much, and I feel it in my whole body, a warmth coming up. So yes, thank you, Maria. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And yes, I'm looking forward for the rest of our connection. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. Fantastic. I'm grateful by having you as a listener on this episode. I am in the mission of empowering thousands of women around the globe, and I need your support for that. help me to spread the voice by sharing this episode and subscribe to our social media channels. And remember, if you want to listen to exceptional stories and have someone that inspires you, please get in touch with me because I would love to have them as a guest to learn from their experience and share their story with you next time. So until the next episode, ciao, ciao.